welcome back to the Untold Truth. You are now in tune with your girl Rootz K, giving you the most controversial issues with the most intellectual minds. Today I have one of the most, I don't even know the word to describe her, but she goes by the name of Rootz K.
Hey, what's good?
Focus on the push that, sidestep I eat that, and tell them say I need that. Rolling through the lands with the beach bag, full of precious gems for the recharge. Pre that, my aura is a reflex, get the bleak back. Then X me off your list of all your color, this and blacks. That my nation stands stronger than the mayor or president. Roots, I'm the jungle. Nature, my resident.
How are you, Roots?
I'm well, family. How are you?
I hope you didn't find that offensive when I said I can't find the word to describe you, because you are so many nouns, verbs, and adjectives. You're just such a phenomenal artist.
Thank you.
And I feel like to just generalize you to like one word would just be so demeaning. You know what I mean?
That's all good. No offense taken.
What's up with you, man? What's new? How are you?
Right now, I'm good. Been working on a new album right now with Stang, former GCP producer.
Sick.
It's quarter of the way done.
Yeah.
I'm planning to work with a couple more producers on the project, so I'm really gonna take my time with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna put out a video for Raw PMS soon, hopefully. I want to get a track out or a video out for the track Hello. That's the first single out from the EP, Up From The Root. And yeah, that EP, we're just trying to let that buzz for right now while I work on what I'm working on.
Before you jump right into all these projects you got going on, because you hot in the city right now. You is hot. Like I be going to events, and you guys know me. I talk to so many different artists, and I'm asking them, who is your hottest MCs out? And honestly, the amount of people that say your name is like, I can't even count it on my fingers. Like, you know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
Which is super dope. But just give us a little intro. Like, who is Rootz K? What is it that you do, and so on and so forth?
Well, Rootz K is a poet first. I first came into my journey as a poet, and started writing at the age of 10. Wrote at graduations, lectures, performed for different community showcases. Then I, got into my musical talent, listening to certain artists that really inspired me. Like Nas is one of my favorite artists.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z, listening to Pop, Biggie, listening to Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Common, Lauryn Hill. Them kind of vibes really helped me create my sound. And yeah, it's that old school hip hop feel about me.
Yeah, you is mad old school. You
so
is mad old school.
That's kind of like what I married myself to.
Yeah.
In a sense, so I want to stay true to that throughout my career, and yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeding the city right now.
Dope. So as far as your music, like, do you feel like you're more of the, well, obviously you're old school, but as far as like the message or the moral behind your music, like, how would you describe that, if you can?
A lot of it would say it's conscious hip hop, but everybody is really conscious of what they're saying.
Yeah.
It's more or less, how do you define what that means to your life or to other people who are seeing or viewing your craft.
Yeah.
So I would more or less say just real life experiences, what I see on a day-to-day, what I feel on a day-to-day. Sometimes I might be writing in the perspective of someone else who's gone through something, and that's touched me in a way that I feel like I need to let that out on paper. So yeah, I mean, I just let it flow.
That's dope. As far as your background, like, were you born and raised in Toronto? Like, how? Like, give us a little bit about like your hometown and your upbringing and so on and so forth.
Born here in Toronto, raised here in Toronto. Grew up in Jane and Finch for the majority of my
Big
life.
up!
You done know all the massive of Jane and Finch. You know what it is. Yeah, just being able to come from a real sense of community, and I see that's what our our communities are lacking nowadays. I can't even call them communities. Like you just have different areas, pockets in the city with people who, you know, who want to make change, people who are there to be able to influence others in a certain way where we can, you know, bring up some leadership roles in our young today. But it's not like community back in the day, and that's kind of what helped ground me.
What do you feel like are like the major differences right now in Jane and Finch, just as far as like the unity in the community? Like, what are some things that have changed compared to back in the day?
The elders. There's not enough elders again that are out there giving that guidance, that nurturing role to us. Me growing up, there was a lot more elders in the community. Yeah. You know, I just simply put it that way. Yeah. The elders are not present, and the youth now they've lost their way. Like you know, with the amount of violence going on right now, it's crazy. And it's not that it's just in Jane and Finch; it's everywhere in the city. Yeah. It's just the fact that it's all young people. You know, you don't see nobody really killing each other or, you know, warring each other that are, you know, past 25 or even past their 30s, let's say, you know. And usually you would find reason for certain, I guess, like real issues at that age. But to be warring at 17, 18, I mean...
Well, like, just in regards to that, like, when it comes to gun violence and all these young lives being taken away from it, what do you feel like is, like, not that there's a specific root cause for it, but, like, when you see 16, 17-year-olds, 15-year-olds kind of getting caught up with that stuff and killing each other off over foolishness, which is what
very
I would
much
say.
so.
Like, what do you feel like is the cause? Like, do you kind of feel like it's the family structure? Do you feel like it's influence? Do you feel like it's peer pressure?
First, it's always family. It's always about which home you did come from. Yeah. Because initially, that's where the first teachings are manifested through the home and the parents. Then it becomes a peer pressure thing, because after coming out of the home, you're going into you're going into society, you're going to school, you're going to work. Yeah. You're then, you know, around a whole bunch of different energies, a whole bunch of different people, and their views of life. And then if you're not grounded from home, you're easily manipulated by these views of other people, and how that's going to make you more or less carry yourself in society from that, you know, from then on forth. So from the home first, and then, you know, peer pressure from people in society is where I feel like.
So where were you when you were 17 years old? Like, were you that kid that kind of was caught up, hot-headed, you know what I mean, doing crazy things? Or were you that just schoolgirl, stayed home, kept to herself? Like, what kind of girl was Rootz growing up?
I wasn't really. I was a good girl. I ain't gonna lie. I did have a little attitude, you know. It was a little bit of a hothead. Not really to the sense where I'm like in fights all the time or things like that. I was more of like a person who stood up for somebody who was being mistreated, kind of thing. That was like my position growing up. And I say like around 15, 16, those times, like. You could have caught me on like rap sheet if nobody knows. I was on a rap sheet. Wow. Spitting a 1-2, and you know, it's so much different from what you hear me talking about nowadays. But still, like that passion was there. By 17, I graduated. You know, I stuck to school. I was playing ball a lot at the time, so that's kind of kept me.
What position did you play?
Point guard, 2-3 guard, point guard. No, not point guard. Sorry, 2 shooting guard or small forward. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, ball was my life. So if I didn't have ball, I think I'd have been a little bit more caught up. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dope. So the first time I've ever heard of, I was gonna say Kizzy Rootz, like we were just discussing this, because I feel like Kizzy Rootz, it just rolls off your tongue like Kizzy Rootz.
I know,
You know what I mean?
know.
But she just recently switched it up to Rootz Kizzy, which is fine. It can still go on.
Or Rootz K, you know what I'm saying? It's short.
Yeah, Rootz K can go on too. But the first time I've actually ever heard of you was through a Jane and Finch cipher that you've done, organized by Lola Buns.
Right. Shout out Lola Buns.
And a whole bunch of phenomenal artists. But how was that experience? Was that your first cipher that you've ever done?
That was my very first cipher. It was really
You
nice.
looked really different in that cipher.
I know, everybody says.
What was it? Did you have dreads in that cipher?
No, I had a fro.
Oh, you
I
had a
just
fro.
cut my dreads that
Yeah.
year. So, yeah, I had a little afro going. I heard, I had someone in the comments say, she looks like, what's his name? Oh, I'm so mad I can't remember it right now. He did a track with Janae Aiko.
Oh, Janae Aiko.
Yeah, Janae Aiko.
There's so many people who's done tracks with Janae
No,
Aiko.
man, he's like a conscious artist. I
J.
can't.
Cole?
No, I love J. Cole, by the way. I'd love to do a track with you, by the way. But anyway.
Who knows? Who cares? We'll figure it out.
Anyways.
We'll figure it out. But you look.
Childish Gambino.
Oh, yes! Yeah, you do! You actually
That's
do.
what someone said in the comment. I was dying when I
Yeah.
saw that shit. Sorry.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But your hair grew really long. Like, when did you guys shoot that cipher?
That was the end of 2011.
Okay,
December
not too long
2011.
ago. Dope. And that cipher actually has thousands of views right now. Like, I think it's at like 30,000 views right now. So it's pretty dope. I think there was Lola Buns, it was you, there
Badass
was Rushy
Buck
Rob,
and Rushy
Badass
Rob.
Buck. Like, what's up with Badass Buck? Is she still rapping and stuff?
She still makes music.
Okay.
Recently she hasn't been I guess she hasn't been doing nothing really recently, but she's put out a couple videos and some tracks. So yeah, she still does her music. She's
Dope.
still into it.
Aside from the music, guys, Rootz loves to cook.
Yes,
Rootz
I do.
loves to cook. You have something called Rootz Catering.
Yeah, Raw Rootz Catering.
Raw Rootz Catering.
So Raw stands for ready and willing. So at any given moment, my catering just caters to people who want something to eat.
Yeah.
So what you want, I give you, kind of thing.
But is it like everything that you cook, or is it like just a certain kind of food?
Mostly Caribbean food, you know what I'm
Caribbean
saying? So can give you your fried snapper, to
And
your
the
oxtail,
and
to
the
your curry
plantain,
goat,
to
to
the
your curry
dumpling.
chicken, to
I
your
need dumplings
dump,
now to thicken
everything.
my ass
Rice and
up.
peas.
But you cook every Thursdays, I believe.
No,
There's
it was
an
every
event
Wednesday.
Every
I was
Wednesdays.
doing at Blind Tiger.
Yeah.
Reggae Connected. Big up Ian Riddick. He's the one who puts on that event. I haven't been doing it for the past couple months. Change of management, not management, but just change of scene around there.
Yeah.
So I'm venturing off.
Okay.
I still do like my private catering for people who need orders for what parties, whatnot.
Dope.
Right now I'm looking into opening up a restaurant.
That would be
space
so
with
awesome.
someone.
Where in Toronto?
Yes,
That would be
Kensington
dope.
Market area.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
Especially in Kensington.
So it's a new venture. I'm pretty spread out, but I'm trying to just keep it grounded.
Like, I see you with your own food truck, and it says
Everywhere.
R.A.W Catering. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
Just post it up in clubs. Like,
It's funny, my
everywhere.
godmother just asked me about getting a food truck, and I'm like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
But
but that's a lot of money to invest, but the amount of money that you
you
would be
get
getting
back. I know.
especially when it comes to Caribbean food. Like, I don't think I've ever seen Caribbean food trucks. Well, I have, but not compared
I
to
haven't seen a whole lot of food trucks, to be
Yeah.
honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be definitely something I look into
Yeah.
later on. Also, Thursdays I'm going to be starting up a vibe with Matthias. I don't know if anyone knows of La Tea Colibri. It's a French Creole Caribbean restaurant that used to be in Kensington.
Yeah.
It closed down. It's opening back up.
Okay.
So he has a place at Queen and Dufferin area, Midpoint.
So you're gonna be chefing up over there
with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his menu.
Yeah.
Not my food really. So. Yeah.
Okay.
We
That's
have
dope.
live, DJing and stuff. I'm trying to bring the Reggae Connected over there too.
That's dope. Yeah. And you are very reggae connected. You are. Obviously, because you come from a Caribbean background. Like, what is
yeah.
your background?
Jamaican.
You're Jamaican. Jamaica. Big up Jamaica.
Irie. You don't know.
But I just find it very interesting to see someone who raps, who's into the music, but also has like a side hobby and who likes to cook. You know what I'm saying? Because usually you meet rappers, they're just rappers. No offense.
And and it doesn't even just stop there. I mean, I get in where I fit in, so I try to use my talents to, get by. I also referee basketball. I coach a basketball girls team. I do hair on the side.
Yeah.
I got a cleaning business.
These edges, though. These edges.
I hook your shit up.
Yeah. So are you still a part of Northern Queens with you and Alicia Cinnamon? What's poppin' with that?
Running. You have that thing where, like, certain people don't feel like to move with the movement. Like, if you want it to grow in a certain way, but things happen.
Curious.
So
Northern Queens, just in case you guys don't know what Northern Queens is, it's pretty much a showcase that was put together with women.
Yeah, by Alicia Cinnamon to just showcase female artists in the city.
I was curious though, is it always the same female artists that perform, or are you guys open to taking in new female artists as well?
Very much open to taking in new female artists. I'm not really in management with that. She does it all on her own when she's recruiting artists.
So what is your role when it comes to the Northern Queens?
Sometimes she lets me help host with her. Otherwise, I'd be performing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then I just help, with the branding.
What I
promoting.
really love about those events though is, when every individual performs, they put like a little box where you can tip the artist. It's so sick. So you'll have somebody perform and somebody just comes out, pulls out a good 20. Here, bless
that's
that.
you.
Like, I'm just like, that's so dope. Because usually when you go out to open mics and showcases and stuff, it's just the artist coming out to perform. You know what I mean? So shout out to Alicia Cinnamon for coming out with that
very
idea.
Dope.
That's
very
like
dope.
an epic idea.
And it worked.
Yeah, it did. But and shout out Mo on the mic. That's why I met Mo on the mic.
Did you? Yo, that's my girl from 98.
When I heard Mo on the mic, I was just like, bruh, who is this girl?
Right? Yo, she's been hiding this all these years. Like, I haven't seen her for years, and then I ended up booking her at, I think it was like a party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like a couple of years back.
And her older brother is a sick reggae artist too, which I did not know.
I don't even know.
I met him at a sound clash.
Really?
Like, just randomly. Because he said he recognized me from the cipher that Mo on the mic was doing. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, yo, your sister's sick. And then he went up and he started to perform at the sound clash. I'm like, yo, you're sicker. Like, what? This whole family has it down packed. Like,
I didn't even know that. So, hey, shout out to the both of y'all. Because I love Mo. Like, we just did a track actually.
Really?
So I'm gonna big her up to the fullest. So on my new album, she's featured on a track that we got, and it's so dope.
So how many features do you have on this new album?
She's the first ones. No, her and on the Rock BMS track I have Alicia Cinnamon, my girl Bird, and another girl Jen. They're all doing the hook. Okay. It's like a combined melody of their voices.
So is this album going to be all women, or are you open to the men to come in, for the brothers to do
I'm
features?
Definitely open up to men to come in, and it's just about the right collaboration, you know what I'm saying? So I still have beats to choose from, people to...
Just out of curiosity, and I don't even know how to ask you this question, but just out of curiosity, are you affiliated anyway with the Moors?
Yes,
or do you identify as a Moor? Like, how
I do.
What are your perspective when it comes to that?
I am a Moorish national, so I came into the knowledge about 2007, 2008. So since then, I've been taking in my studies in respects to that of our Moorish heritage, our culture, falling under that title as a nation. That was the last empire we fell under. So that's the empire that we then want to rise up under. So basically, a lot of this land is our land. Right here in the Western Hemisphere, what people feel like belong to Europeans per se, it really doesn't. And the Constitution thus then says the same. So just a lot of studying. I do still have a lot of studying to do, but studying law is the first basis.
Since you do identify as a Moor, which I find that very, very, very intriguing. what do you feel like is the difference between black and more? Because obviously you hear a lot of African folks say I'm black. How do you feel about the word black? Like when people say I'm black, I'm a black woman, I'm a black man. Like, do you feel like that's just context, or do you feel like, yo, you guys are just completely off? You guys are not fucking black. Like, how do you feel about that?
You have mixed emotions about it once you start understanding language, when you start understanding definitions of words and how other people who really use those definitions and the context of what they mean take that and then conceptualize you as an individual. So the difference between more and black is that by definition wise, more is any dark-skinned person basically, and basically a Muslim, any human being of blood, flesh, and tissue. We're all Moors. Yeah. You understand? So to be black now was like a universal term, I feel, that was brought in very late. That term or that word in the English language, in which English language is then a late, language compared. You don't really even have the word black per se in certain other languages. Black means any dead person who's civilly dead. Pale, bleak, a shade. And like being literal, do you look black? Are you the color of your shirt?
Definitely not.
So you know what I mean? In actuality, we're brown people then, right?
How do you feel about Black Lives Matter, like the movement in Toronto? That's a general question. But come on. I know you have a perspective when it comes to the whole movement. Are you pro Black Lives Matter, or are you just no, Black Lives Matter needs to shut down?
The only reason why I'd want to shut it down, not shut down the music movement, but more or less the change the name, because again, they're using the word black to identify a certain group of people, and what they define you as with that name is something different from what you feel you are to that name. So ultimately, like, do you have more power with that than they do when it comes to certain things? Weigh it out that way.
So what would you change your name to if it was up to you? Like, if Rootz was the organizer of BLM and she had the choice to change that whole name, what would she change it to?
It'd probably be Our Lives Matter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it could be anybody.
So Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. Which one?
All lives do.
All lives. Okay.
Yeah.
I salute you for that, man.
Straight goods.
I haven't heard somebody say that in a long time. It is true. Because, like, whenever I'm so, like, all lives matter. Are you dumb, Farah? Like, you're black. Like, you're black. Like, we've been institutionalized and oppressed for so many years. And I'm like, I understand that.
But
you know what I mean?
You have to look at what are you doing to change it, though.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then, like I said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're all living on this earth together. So.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to think about bigger issues like what's our water supply going to be like in the next 10 years?
Yeah, because we got people drinking water the color of this table. Right now.
Dakota is going through some serious stuff right now. So that's something we need to think about more than the fact that, I mean, they're making guns. Who's going to stop the making of the guns?
Yeah.
Who's going to be able to come into the community and actually unite us? It's not about, black against white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all helping each other at the end of the day.
Yeah.
In certain ways, more or less. You know what I mean? So we need to figure out how to build the whole instead of dividing so much.
Exactly. Alrighty, Rootz. I wish I could keep Rootz here forever and just talk to her about everything. But what are some upcoming shows and projects that you got going on?
I have a poetry book I'm working on publishing.
Dope.
So it's finished. It just needs to be published. And also, like, I have an audio that I'm gonna be recording to put it out with the book. So
Dope.
People get poetry books and then they try to hear the sound to it, and you don't really hear it. So That's what I'm.
And it's all your poetry?
All my poetry, all my
Sick.
first writings of poetry.
What'd you name it? What's the book called?
Creole Shun.
Okay.
So just my creation.
Yeah.
My joy, my passion, my creativity, my love.
Yeah.
You know.
Dope. I like love Rootz. Rootz has like an amazing, because she was a part of the Untold Truth cipher series. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but she was on the first episode with Ida, Master Inferno, Ed Herbs, and
Lincoln.
I know you fucked with Lincoln. Every time Lincoln did his verse, you're just like,
no, he just astonished me.
Yeah,
he was so dope, and Ida too. And then I seen Ida on the battle. She killed the girl.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So how do we find you, Rootz?
I'm on Instagram, Rootz K, ROOTZ letter K. Facebook, the same thing. Rootsk.bandcamp.com is where you can buy the EP Up From the Root. Twitter, Rootz One Vision. Rootz #1 Vision with a Z.
Everything Rootz. Just type up Rootz K and you're gonna find her.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with the Untold Truth. Again, we have your girl Rootz K in the motherfucking building.
That's what's up.
Please check out her music. Check out her videos. Add her on motherfucking Facebook, Instagram, whatever the fuck it is. Add her up. She's worth watching. She's worth supporting.
Thank you.
And just support your local artists. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. One love.
One love divine, and I bring salutations. Power, sing, yes, it's all in the nations. Numbers and soul flow, we heard in the streets. The monster in me, it don't accept defeat. Launched them a classic motion. Picture this ride wave across the ocean. Explosion, riddle them soft emotions. Encounter the master's truth reveal. You could not divide our stances.